Hey guys, my name is Jennifer and I am Genevieve Designs. Today we're going to make the pages for the scrap journal that we made in the last video. We're working on the Time of Wonders album, and this is the paper collection, Mente. I will have a whole playlist, or I do have a whole playlist for this album beginning to end. Well, it's not end yet because it's not over, but I'll link it up here. So I've already gathered some stuff, so let's just quickly go through it, and then I have a couple ideas, so we'll see if we do any of them. So we're going to sew these in, but we're just going to do a 3-stitch, so it's not going to be super complicated. But I grabbed one of the envelopes from the Buy Me a Coffee, and let me see if I can find one that it's not cut out. There we go. Okay, here's what it looks like. This is what it looks like in the Buy Me a Coffee. I'll have it linked down below. You don't have to have an account or anything. It's free. If you go to get it, you just put a big 0 there. If you don't want to put any money in there, you just put 0 and then you say get this, and you can download this printable coffee stained envelope. So I printed this one onto 28-pound weight plain paper, cut it out, and I did ink up the edges because I'm thinking about using this in the middle of the signature. You know, we've done this before, and I was thinking about putting a magnet and a wax seal, so maybe. This is from a big book, like a ledger book, so I just actually tore it in half and took one of the pages. I don't know where the other page went. And then here, this is a huge piece of ledger. It is not quite 11 by 17. It looks like it's probably 10 by 16 or something like that. So for this one, I'll just show you. I'll just do this one. I took the cover and let's see. I'm going to go a little bit past the edge here. And I'm going to take my ruler and I'm just going to tear it. Just like that. And then I'm going to tear it on this side. Just like that. And now this page will fit perfectly inside the covers. And we might have to trim it down a little bit after the fact. After we get it all sewn together, you know, there's going to be stuff hanging out, so we may have to trim it down. But these pieces can also be used. You can do the same thing. Actually, if you wanted to, you could literally stick it in here like that. And trim it down this way. Right? So now you got two little things that could be used as tags, which is super cute. But I'm going to set these pieces aside. I have more over here. Because I'd already cut down a page. And I did use, yeah, it's already in here. I was going to use the smaller piece. So now we've got those options. So easy. And, oh, there's the other page. There's the other one of these. It was like, you know, I just ripped it down the middle and folded it in half because it's a grid, so it doesn't matter which way it goes. And then the coffee stained paper. I did the same thing I did with the vintage ledger, except I just trimmed it out, I think, with a paper trimmer. But I can do the same thing. I can literally, I don't think it needs to be folded in half and half. You know, we can just guess. Actually, we can even make it shorter, because the pages don't have to fit exactly. We'll just make it shorter, and we're going to trim off, or rip this side over here. Save these for something else. And then Actually, let's just trim it to a random size. So these are 11 by 17 coffee stained. I do not sell coffee stained paper, but I will link Etsy, or it should be linked already anyway in the description box down below, of people who sell coffee stained paper. You can ask for larger sizes, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure. I usually do my own, but I've never done a video on it. And then I printed, this is from the Shades of Color. Let me show you. Shades of Color 2. So I printed color number 16 and on the backside color number 7. This is just on 20 pound 11 by 17 paper. If you don't have this size paper, you can print 2 different pages off and just attach them together, just like we did the cover. But I thought it would be fun to have some colorful pages in here as well. So or so I think what I'll do, I'll rip it here, get that white edge, because the printer my printer does not print to the edge. And then I will rip the top and the bottom. So now we have a color. Is it too tall? Ah, it's still a little too tall. So I'm going to rip this a little bit more. And then I have this. I might save this for something else. So I'm going to set this aside. Okay, so now we have all of these options. So let's get these coffee stained. Let's separate them out. Oh, and then I have just a plain white sheet. I'm not sure I'll use this, but you never know. So there's coffee stain, there's vintage, ledger, there's those. So I think what I'll do is I'm just going to start putting some things together, maybe. Just whatever you like, however you like it. Or, right? And maybe this smaller one. The envelope maybe here. So let me put these aside. I won't use those. But then I had one more idea. I don't know if I'll be able to do it or not. We'll see. Oops. That's not too bad. It's not sticking. I mean, I could leave it like that, and that would be totally fine for it to be sticking out like that. It depends on what you like. It might just be too much. Let's just see. So let's take out one of the let's take this one out. Even though I love those. Let's take one of those out. Okay, well, I have one more idea. So, in keeping with the cover, how we did this cover, how we cut this out of the 6x6 piece of cardstock, I was thinking about doing the same thing. I'm going to cut out around, all the way around, and then we're going to fold it in half, and we're going to add it into the signature. So, I'm actually going to do that off camera, because that's a lot. That's a lot of fussy cutting. It may not work, but we'll see. I think it'll be cute. What's the worst thing that could happen? Right? Okay. I'll be right back. Okay. Here it is. What do you think? So I did end up scoring it down the middle so that I actually scored it wrong one time. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. Is there an up and a down? I think there is, yeah. So I could either have this in the center. I've seen people do this where they put stuff like this in the center of their signature. I mean, I'd have to cut off the tops and the bottoms and whatnot. That would be kind of cool. Or go ahead and put the envelope in there, and I don't really like that. What about if we put it behind pages? So it's kind of like that. Or what if we did it to where it's kind of like that? That might be kind of cool, because then we could, if we wanted to, we can make this like a little tuck pocket. I kind of like that. Okay, so I think I'm going to have to move this though. I think I'll move it to here. And then the envelope will go in the middle. So that would go like this. Right. That would be cute. I like that idea. I like that. Okay, that's what we're going to do. But before we can do that, I need to do the magnet and the wax seal on here. So let me, hopefully my candle, oh, it's about ready to burn out. I've got another one spare just in case. I'm just gonna maybe do one blob. So these were the custom wax seal colors that we made, wax seal beads that we made early on. Whoop. And I love them. Okay, I don't know if there's enough flame, but we'll give it a whirl. Also, what does that say? My friend. I guess I'll use that. I need to put the magnet, so I'm going to do the magnet saver here, because that seems to be working out. I'm going to put a magnet saver there, like a little bitty one. The wax seal will cover it. just like that. So let me put a, let me use a glue dot. I'll use a glue dot. And place it right there on the tip. I have all of my magnet resources linked down below, so you can check that out. And then I'm going to grab a magnet. I don't think it... How do I want to do this? I'm going to put a glue dot. On there, and I'm going to set it down here where I think those glue dots are awesome. Okay. It did. It caught just fine. And then let's put a piece of tape so that any inserts will just glide right over there and it won't move. And I also want to do some splatters, some of the gold watercolor splatters. Maybe I could get that done before that gets done melting. You know what else I want to splatter is this colored paper here. And maybe just on the purple side. I don't know. Oh no. Nope, let's do it on both sides. What the heck? Alright, I'm going to set this aside for a minute so that I can bring this over and do the wax seal. Okay, I'm just going to pour it right over top of that magnet saver. What's a magnet saver? It's just a disc, a metal disc that the magnets, it's really super thin. The magnets stick to it. Oh, I didn't need that candle after all. Okay, I tried to dry it just a little bit because it's still a little damp. But let me see if I can get it back to where I had it. There's that, and there's that. Yeah, okay. And then this should be done. It is. And see, it's completely covered. That little magnet saver is completely covered. So then when it's closed, it will stay closed in the middle. Okay. Okay, we can't put this together yet, but I'm going to use glue, I think. So I am going to put this in the middle. Just like this. And I need something to keep it closed. What do I got? Or to keep everything. It's not quite big enough. I used to have really big paper clips. What do I do with those? I found them. Okay, let's try this again. This is not as easy as it looks. It's not as hard as it looks. I mean, I don't know how good this paper clip's gonna hold. It's not very tight at all, but I guess it'll keep things from moving. All right, so you just want everything to be snug in there. Next thing you want to do is poke 3 holes. I'm gonna poke in the center and yeah, I'm just going to go about 1.5 inches from the bottom, 1.5 inches from the top. And hopefully I got that, yep. Then I'm going to take some crochet thread because it's not going to be seen anyway. I don't want to add any bulk. So I'm going to grab a bit. I'll have to add that to my Amazon list. I don't know if it's in there or not. Okay, I am gonna I'm gonna wax it a little bit, just because I don't want to rip. A lot of these papers are old and fine, so I'm just running it through this little bit of beeswax here. And I don't need this giant needle, but that's what I got. That's what I'm using. So I'm going to start on the inside, go through the middle, leave a tail. I'm going to go, looks like down to the bottom here. Come back up. Go all the way down to the top, or up to the top. Go back out. And then come back up through the middle. I'm going to give it a slight tug both ways and then turn up. Just like that. Oops, I gotta cut it a little shorter. Okay, let's take the paper clips off, and then we should be able to close up our envelope. So I'm just gonna use some glue. I'm gonna use art glitter glue. I'm just gonna be real careful. This is super thin paper, so I'm just gonna be really careful. Okay, so now we got the center. I feel like it needs to be grunged up a little bit though. It's like it's too bright or something. Okay, so now we need to cut some of the, oh look, I didn't even let the pages come all the way down to the bottom. Oh well, that's okay. All right, so now I'm gonna lay this flat and I'm gonna cut the ends off. I think, yeah. This is going to be tricky, so I'm going to hold my ruler firmly and then I'm going to cut very slow. Not push too hard. Right. So now that top edge is super clean. Let's do the same over here. Just really the bottom. And I think I am going to cut this clean. Just because it looks a little weird. It's a little too uniform sticking out. Okay. All right. There we go. Oh, I love it. I really do love this. I think this is a really cool, that'd be a really cool little tuck spot, except I didn't match that up. That was the only thing, but that's okay. Nice. And then back here, that could also be a little tuck spot. Okay, I really like it. Okay. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just going to ink the edges all the way around, including the string. I love that. All right, let's go ahead and put it in the album. So it's going to go right in here. Oh, you know what I should do? No, I think it'd be all right. So there we go. So now see, I'm wondering if this should be a place for Christmas cards and then this be on this one. Let me grab a Christmas card. So, yeah, here's, okay, let's see. Let's do an experiment. Right, so you could house all your little Christmas cards in here if you wanted to. Like that. Which is kind of fun. And then this one can go under this elastic. I'm gonna have to do something about that. Yep, okay. I need to cut that corner. So I'm gonna get my big chomper, my heavy duty chomper. I'm gonna get this one, and I'm gonna open it, and I'm gonna chomp. I can't see. I'm gonna chomp a little bit away. Yep, that'll work. Whoop. Same thing happened to the other one, and I didn't tie it very tight, and that's okay. Okay, now let's go ahead and tie this a little tighter. I was gonna tie a bow. That's too funny. Okay. Now let's try it. There we go. That's much better. So I might end up doing that instead, like putting the cards in here in this shaker cover. All right, well, why don't you guys just let me know what you think? Should the cards go in the shaker covers and then the scrap journal go in its own elastic? Because I think that it's just too thick. It's just too thick to have them both. It's a good idea, though. It's a good idea. I like it very much. I'm just going to have to think it through a little bit better. Anyway, so let me know what you think. All right, you guys, that is all I have for you today. Be sure, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. That also enters you into the giveaway. You also have to be a subscriber to my channel. You need to turn that bell notification on so you get notified when I upload a video. And give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. And thank you guys so much for joining me today. And I will see you next time. Bye.